almost a month here says to say na nipa na wo ni nyina no save kwadwo no no eba ne de yan save again ma me ni papa enye ne mfom so se nipa nimu no de ono so nyame de ama no no na me san so ama omo so ate ase se nka omo mpo na gina ho na enye se omo ba ye involved that I'm sure said they would have gone the same direction obi or kobi tino yesusu eya tenie mu aten. He didn't even have any idea of Akwadebi being involved. No, on that night, he didn't even know Krasi as Akwadebi can. We no kekam, yen chinin tum, we in pa bonini, and one nipa home, and now we stand today, and a walk Akwada. Aya yen to your book akra, yen to your book. Sabi asem si ya ni hu nyansa. Asem si ya obi ni nyansa ba etoa, and a hu nyansa. And I say, two so uhu nyansa. Say, Mina may driving as a medical nanya said, obedient. No yanka utia break so. I don't want 10 yanko say. And two nim nyansa too much. But me, I'm a team name in the neck also. It's a man ye now would know.
Yes, that's in common. Last week, it's not situation in common because there were 2 major accidents and that AC ewo industry. First one I hear on social media earlier in the day near ye sinicheni na all premier ni movies adano kojo cancer Lilwin na Kumasi baby yesi or the car pim car bi. As of that time na yate say ni manager any other person bouncer no ni work ni car no they were in critical condition na onu so receive treatment. We had not heard much about the other party nor yet involved in the accident. Yeni Nana Obri Kasaye no ye part of Lilwin team on bringing us to date as of last week on what's AC. Later on who said Lilwin a copy premier nasi ewo Kumasi KNUST. During the week, and our story started say a trickle in Kakra say or the car pim another car na papa bi ene ne ba ene ne wo car no. Na later on ye beti say na papa no was in critical condition na ne ba no onu so 3 years or yetewia no oni air driving onu aka baby na ebeye bebre because na afedi as a blame game a started and a win na over speedy and a win na yesi and a colonity front and a use car seats mano and a ni kwansa colonity na front papa yi so beka say na ni bat back but no original nechi ebi mu say o say no original nechi enti na ekoba na sa say impact no from the hit no emma akolani the ball the dashboard. At least that's the speculation. But enunu enye big deal for a lot of people. People are sad, say, washing back. The big deal for a lot of people are causing a lot of chaos on social media. A statements are near a free Lilwin camp as of the time and in the same way in Ayakoso. 2 statements have been released so far. Yes, starting with the first one now, a call viral now, a shame for bebre buffon. That statement started with some thanksgiving to God. Say, Ono Lilwin are involved in an accident, so nyame ajinenkwa. Before that statement, mami call back kakra. The next day after the premiere you send a plaster a bonnet and say bibia and fine sir. His mood and everything could tell say he was quite worried. But the next day me social media and yet he say okodia dance e was sorry. Say odanyamiasi say wabon ho ban anka ye enti asempa blah 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 blah. It wasn't supposed to be anything to anger people according to some faction. Another faction say na nkofo na oni omunya accidents no na omuda critical condition omudie sebio omuni nyame ni bia na e dey na oyese ase uni tima bia asa ye hosa na ye release first statement. Inti first statement no about the first paragraph of it was about gratitude. Wheezy Empire Management would like to express their gratitude to the public for their overwhelming support. Statements no was screen so. Following last Saturday's accident. Na kind kwa say oka Nyoma first about Onoanihu, if you see the statement well. Before later, the third paragraph. However, we are deeply saddened by the tragic death of a 3-year-old boy who was involved in the gruesome accident, and we extend our sincere condolences to the bereaved family. Now, afedio oba down bioma. Omo call say, omo started say, omo clear omo. Say, as much as we are saddened and traumatized, we find unwarranted allegations of neglect on our part, as speculated by some commentators, very distasteful and disturbing at this troubling time. We want to categorically state that we were unclear about the extent of damage from the accident because our artist, manager, and bouncer suffered life-threatening injuries. Now, for the almost remaining rest of the police for Beyo Mwejuma. Now, almost Ray Money, our artist manager, is still undergoing treatment in the hospital, as is, according to the statement, Brofono, as is Kojo in cancer, who has yet to fully recover. I'm sure it's who is yet to fully recover from the tragedy. But our bouncer has been processed for surgical review. Now, the last part, we continue to crave for the support of all Ghanaians to pray for affected persons' full recovery. Pray for #pray for Lilwin and Ray Money. It's a hakra bounce and okra amba. And Ochiami Akodanyami on no PR. So this is the first year release year. In Kofosi de bida yempewe. I was told say Oma pulley way out, but as of this evening, Mabet na Hamisan call Lilwin page, no, that statement is still there. Anybody can cross check if you don't find it anymore. But as of in fact, this screenshot was at 6:12 from Lilwin's official page. The American second way ni headline here: postponement of premiere of a country called Ghana movie in Sunyani. Yen na yenim se anke ne na omo ye premiere e wo Sunyani. O se sa premiere no nyamba so bi. Oma calling it off. Now here are the reasons. Also, the management of Wizzy Empire regretfully announced the postponement of the premiere of its movie, A Country Called Ghana, initially scheduled to be screened in Sunyani on Saturday, June 1, 2024. This difficult decision was made in respect of the memory of the 3-year-old boy Nanayao, who unfortunately lost his life in a tragic accident involving our Chief Executive Officer, Kojo Nkansa Lilwin, last Saturday, to join the family in mourning their loss. Now, the CEO and management extend their sincere condolence to the bereaved family, wish a speedy recovery to the father, Mr. Jacob Kofi Amponsa. Now, say we also understand that our previous communication may have been perceived as insensitive, and we apologize for any unintended distress caused. As Lilwin and our manager Ray Money continue to receive treatments at the Accident Emergency Unit of Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Our thoughts are with them for a speedy recovery. We assure fans who have procured tickets, that's for today's premiere now, my council say, their tickets remain valid and can be used on a later date that will be communicated. Now, almost announcing new dates. Then finally, almost see. We appreciate the love shown to our artists in these trying times, and we wish to apologize for any inconveniences the change may bring. Now, for the hashtag, no, so hashtag RIP Nanayao, hashtag pray for Lilwin and Ray Money, hashtag speedy recovery Jacob Ochiami Akodenya PR Wizzy Empire. So this is the latest on statements now released from Wizzy Empire no on situation. See, the father has spoken now. In fact, you see many sides of the story, but me for you have not had the opportunity to review these sites now, Matt, because as of last week, no. Now, what we heard was from somebody who was an insider and also was receiving reports from others. Inti, let's start with Ola Nenim Kumasi Yepa Ena Otin Yomana Koso as to the cancellation of the premiere and the story so far concerning the bereaved family, no, any Lilwin in the team. Offer.
Mommy, that's it. So last weekend, was it last weekend? I said seeing right?
Yes. Yeah. Last Saturday.
No, Halitia. Yeah, was last weekend Saturday.
Okay, Mommy, if I come production says still Lilwin hospital, but I'm still picking up information to the also.
Yeah. Before me, but no, I checked normal so your son did not to hospital. And you remember, say, I see and on near NTR, this I don't know. Or call premier no now one car hospital because injuries need be show immediately. It takes time. It happens within, a doctor for internal injuries, who signs, so you might feel say you are okay, but so one you're careful as the days go by, then you realize you begin to feel the impact of the accident now. So we were all worried, say, oh sorry, call, but maybe I know no who saw you okay. Maybe so I know kwanka be before besi. I don't know. But me, nipa, and the way I am missy boy, we are all self-preservative. We are all like that. Yes, we are all like that. So me chika na se munyina motika anymore. That's a kind of kopima. The first thing that the innate instinct will ask me to save myself first, even before I remember saying go for it. It happens. In the same vein, say obi any accident or can accident in one or no joining kwa immediately. And no more can so will think more about him before they think about any other person else. It's look, in human nature, you can't do anything about it. It's not so one us will be here ne saka crowd before ne busa no akata wani. Ya de wo yen. Sani ye boy yen. Ye dwen ye ho. Ansa ne aba badwen no kan ye ho. So when it happened that almost say na one show concern or jai koko share the premier near the adini nyina, I just want them to understand that is human nature. First of all, ye follow narrative. Now you realize that first he didn't even have any idea of Akwadebi being involved. No, on that night he didn't even know Krasi as Akwadebi can. All he knew about was at the hospital he saw send the manager and then the bouncer. That's all he knew. And Obia wako accidents are traumatizing. I mean, naturally shed that insist so immediately. I just say the time. And I'm saying this because of and some nipa bebre no keka yen chinin tum we nipa bonini and wonwe nipa ho and how you stand today and woku akwada aya yen to your book kakra yen to your book sabi asem si wi ni hu nyansa asem si ya obi ni nyansa ba etoa and hu nyansa and I say nton so a hu nyansa se me na me driving as me de kan nya se obi nyansa na wo yanka wutia brake so I don't want 10 yanko say and to nim hu nyansa too much but me am team na minim de na ekoso eti amanye de na wo dwene no akoda na wo frame no obie no ebetimi ane de in fact obie no obetimi I am so comfortable say sebi esan akosi na akoda eframe kwadona no wo twika no de omo ebi mo chese na ebi a otia aka no ebi anu okọ speed dodo ena ma hwe interview so ado ton aka no ma no so ka se ka ni dwane dodo wasi ka no edwane dodo uti aso ate wasi by the time wo beti de broom no na ka ni gina wo chen so car a speed it I wish he had not had that interview but when your career is out there so it makes some of us believe say bi anaka no eko hariso kakra chen ne wo say siko ene bi ekoma a sign we by police for ne betimi a chere dey see enye now akwada kitu no so ofrim no so papa side meeti ono so de no o se na akwada ni gina awo back seat wa o de akwada wa drive akwada bia so one for seat belt and mom no go achira oba be gina wo chipe na ne sada wa beti no ohwe kwam ba me share description na ne papa ndema it seems as though it's sana na akra ne no gina ne nchi iti asere ni sie no na say impact ne to akra ne ba nanim so you know so e kan na akra no akra na ntimi enya nkwa and this is what he said adini sie attention ni nyina okojo so obi e ko save no and he had to come out of the car even though no were pra to be screaming for help. And they don't understand why the attention was on Kojo. It's not his fault that he's a superstar. It's not his fault that people know him. And then any fault in the car no ABI Brandiama people knew who was in the car. So we cannot blame him for that. Yet me buna ten say nipa epu koshe no. Again, almost all monti aseso say nipa na woni nyina no save Kojo no ba ne de yan saving again. Ma many papa enye ne mfom so se nipa nimu no de ono so nya media mano no ena me sanso ama omo so ate ase se nka mumpo ena gina ho ena enye se omo ba ye involved I'm sure said they would have gone the same direction obi o ko bi ti no yesusu enyi atani emu aten yenya abutrema police for no mu hwehwem no mu hu ba bia mfom so ne free by na mum sanfum so ne free Kojo emra ni mamra enye favorable to him and no irrespective of who he is emra no is no respect of persons anyway it's a bumra so a emra ni said by abofra ne papa so ye mfom so a emra ni na mum yenya ye tinchen the incompetent court of public jurisdiction for yi ayo judges dosin yenya abotre na sebi ye ka say Kojo kranso da hospital ne kofa na kan no mu nyina da nyame ampata na sebi ye wonu su prafe na ebeyi nanim na o tira ke beti na sebi manu susumi na so na yesi Kojo so afirima de na ebenya afrim what will be what will be the benefit to anybody yesi akra no oya akra ketwa say no, usually inform nhye fridge yakosie no de aka akire no e na wo se hwehwe but me too Kojo abusuafo no for meka abusuan a won a oka no nipa wonni du ba bi a omo a wono omonam no ahwe nafa panyini bi ka ho uduru ba bi a fo won omo ni afi kakra ba ko ana mienu bi ka ho because asem ni see no ne manager ekọ abofra ne papa fie na mitie de papa ne ka so oba okura sika na odi sika no obemani sika no ze me fanye den me 9 years 2 weeks time me for surgery me nim de be cost na senkwa ba wo ba no ponka fa panyini bi di wachi ana fa panifo bi di akiri na panifo no enkyerɛw de wo sa wo ye ba wo di sika ba save se mu sika ntino mu di sika be to bibia and he's even angry sabin ka panyini kachi ni ho a ko betu wo mu fo se daabi enye sika na ye de kɔ baabi sei ye de panyifo na ekɔ ni akɔdwudwu abusua ebo akose adwebrɛw na akire ye hu kwan ye befa so a ye beboa ma bibia to din etimi sɛ abusua ɛne wɔn a wɔtie wɔn a wɔhwɛ wɔn a wɔdi Kojo ate wɔn a wɔdome no munya abotre police for be ɛyɛ nhwehwɛmu do odifo no emra ne nini it does.
As of this point, na me person metro no ya nya nti ye say Lilwin ewo emergency center ewo G na police force alcohol akɔgye omo statements nti at least now the police is monitoring situation nti mo feel say onam ho ye say bi mo say he's gone scot free and all of them picture or hospital as we speak. Halifax